Now, these phishing emails, they're also called spam. And we know that Hillary didn't delete them because they're part of what she sent to the State Department. And we know that because they're part of what the State Department has released. She would have deleted these emails if she thought it was spam or worse. Instead, her staff even sent these emails, these phishing, just call it spam, even sent these to the State Department. So she thought they were real. Or if she didn't think they were real, she wasn't alarmed enough by them to get rid of them. Now, even the AP is admitting if Hillary's server had even had commercially available antivirus software, she wouldn't have seen those phishing. Your average spam filter will get those. Hillary did not have a spam filter. She probably didn't even turn on a junk filter. Otherwise, that stuff would not have shown up. You can train an application, your program, to trash all that stuff before you even see it. Folks, just to give you an idea, my system here gets rid of 3,000 on average spam emails during the show. I have an app. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I don't want to, but it just hoovers every bit of spam coming into every email account I get. It racks up 3,000 every show. And over the course of the day, it's probably 5,000 total. That's how much of this stuff. And she didn't delete it. It was on her server. And she didn't have a program that deleted it, which meant that the security that she had on this server and her email program was negligible. She didn't even know how to use a fax machine. But because that spam was on her server that got sent to the State Department that was released, which is why we know it's there, she didn't even have any antivirus software. There's no indication whatsoever this woman or anybody working with her had any idea what they were doing. And that's, I think, maybe she's trying to hide behind the fact, well, the emails weren't marked as classified, so I didn't know. You know what I think Hillary does really well? When she finds herself in the middle of a mess, she plays girl 101. Innocent damsel. Yeah, I didn't know. I just want to hit the reply and take care of business. I didn't know that you can have more than one device and one account at the same time. And don't you feminazis get mad at me, because everybody knows what I'm talking about. And Trump, Trump's getting a little frustrated on this too. He for weeks has been saying that he doesn't think she's going to survive the campaign because she's going to be indicted. Anybody else would have been. And if not indicted, charged with something. This is deadly serious stuff that's happened here. Former Secretary of State trafficking in all of this that was not protected. And the evidence keeps mounting up. From thehill.com, Trump, Clinton email controversy terrible for the country. He says it's hard to believe, this on Fox and Friends this morning. It's hard to believe she's even talking about running for president, Trump said. You wouldn't believe it's possible after what she's done. What she did's totally illegal. The whole thing is terrible for our country. And then he repeated that he thinks they probably will not indict her. Talking about the FBI investigation of the server. He said the Attorney General's from New York, and I believe the Attorney General's a good friend of Hillary's. It's pure politics and it's Democrats. And he is exactly right. Now, my point exactly. They're Democrats. Nothing's going to happen to her. Precisely because of that. It's impossible for them to break the law. That's how corrupted our whole system has become with these people in power. Grab audio soundbite number 2. Here's the drive-by media finally themselves maybe getting a little frustrated because now they are incorporating the phrase popularized by me on this program.
Do you see the latest round of emails as sort of another drip, drip?
This is the drip, drip. We're going to see a drip, drip, drip. It just feels like drip, drip, drip. It keeps dripping.
This slow drip of emails.
You've had this drip, drip, drip.
You're going to have a drip, drip, drip.
This is a drip, drip, drip.
Is a drip, drip, drip that will not let up.
Isn't it amazing how this happens? Everybody in the drive-bys, no matter what it is, whether it's gravitas or whatever, they all end up seemingly get a memo. with the approved drive-by media descriptive phrase or sentence of the day that's to be used. In this case, it's been stolen from me. And I realize that many of you are probably saying, well, you stole it from somebody else because I saw drip, drip, drip long before you. Yes, but nobody said it the way I did. I mean, there were a lot of people out there who was a drip, 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 but nobody said drip, 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 and made a big show of it. And it was only that has caused now people to emulate it. Don't doubt me on this, folks.